what he has done, which blows me away sometimes, is the mini homes, the mini rentals, the mini homes, the semis, the cottage homes, and now the apartments right near a hospital in all amity. So great concept that they should go with in other places, as far as I'm concerned, because I think it's a very, I think it's an incredible concept.
Hi, I'm Agnes Stowicki, Managing Editor with Comfort Life. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading retirement communities and care providers to uncover insights to community lifestyle, care, culture, and leadership. This includes insights from residents, family members, and administration. This is the Comfort Life Insider Perspective.
Wow, there's so many things to appreciate of here. The people, the friendliness, the warmth in the atmosphere. When you walk down, you go for a walk, like I have a dog and many of us do. And it's like you drive in here, you walk in here, it's a wave, it's a hello, how are you today? Sometimes your walks are longer because you're stopping to chat very often. The other important part that I like about the crossing is the support we get from the office. I have to give kudos to them, from sending out emails about our HVAC system, when to turn it up, when to turn it down, the assistance when you're moving in, always checking to make sure you're okay, like when you're moving in, a lot of resource there at the office. Well, I decided to purchase a mini home, which is, they're built by Prestige Homes. They are very well built, very well insulated. And like I said before, I leased my land. There are other mini homes that you can rent, that the crossing offers for people who wish to rent. There is also semi-detached units and those units are basically a semi-detached unit with a garage. And then there are other units at our Valley Home detached units, which you can purchase. I know that in the future, the crossing will be building apartments. In fact, they're starting in the spring, which allows you to have such a wide range of what you have it all here. I mean, what a clever concept. I can rent here. I can have my own home with a yard that I can garden in. And yet, if down the road I need to have something smaller that I don't want to look after a yard, or I can't, there will be apartments here that I can and still stay in this community, which I'm establishing my friends. And you definitely, I just think the concept is incredible. So we have a pond with ducks in it, where in the summertime, you'll see picnic tables there that you can sit at. There's an apple orchard that he's planted. There's a blueberry patch he's planted. You can have your own community garden, either in your yard, or they have a spot where there is a community garden. We have walking paths that he maintains and has established. And that to me just said, wow, the attention to detail, the attention to comfort. And one thing I noticed this winter is we get plowed pretty quick. So that's even great. And we're right near a hospital. So we have access to a hospital. So it's quite the place. Like I really must say that. We have had the opportunity. Our bowling league they have a bowling league for seniors here that is run by our social committee, which I should mention is a well-established social committee. And the bowling is really cool because I met a lot of people there. You go bowling, it's very reasonable. Of course, we are wearing masks. However, when you bowl, you're not on a set team. Every week, they draw your name out and you're on a different team so that you can get to know people. And at Christmas time, they came around and I brought it with me, but they published our own phone book. I had lived in Nova Scotia for a long time and raised my children here. And I went to Ontario and was living there. My husband passed away. So I was looking for a place where there is seniors, independent living, but seniors, and able to get together with people our age and do activities. And here we have cards. I mean, my life has changed. I bowl, I line dance, I play cards. I can go into the local. Windsor is very handy. We can walk to Windsor basically. They have a seniors group there. We do shuffleboard with them. You name it, you can go golfing because you're right at the Annapolis Valley and people who like to golf. So there's lots of things to do if you choose to. If you don't, and that's not your thing, that's okay. You're not forced to do anything but enjoy what you're doing. My children are really thrilled. My one daughter who lives in Ontario, it was her who gave me a bit of a push. Mom, you have friends in Nova Scotia and you have this and that, and the Crossing looks like a really good place to go. My youngest daughter lives here, and she, came and searched out a few things, and they're excited. Like they think it's wonderful. They think this is a great place for me to be and for all seniors. I was looking for something that I didn't really want something large, but I wanted something affordable that I could have here and still be independent, and I didn't want to necessarily be in an apartment. I didn't want a bigger house because there's just myself. So I got the best of both worlds. I wasn't sure about a mini home at first, and I'm thinking, wow, but it's cool. And, I don't have a lot of property to look after, which I can manage. And when I can't, I know where to call. So that was probably the affordability. And the other thing was that there were people my age here and activities for seniors that I could tap into, whether it be through the Crossing Social Committee, or the local Windsor. There's just so many things. So if you are interested in coming to the Crossing, that Betty at the office, they're very, very great with forthcoming with information, but come on down for a drive. Come on down and see it, and get a hold of one of us, or if you have specific questions, stop and talk to any of the neighbors here. That would be one of my suggestions. Then you can ask questions that you don't have to necessarily ask to a business, right? But you could ask to the local people. The other thing is look at what you want. If you want to rent, you want to buy, what you're capable of doing, investigate those things, and what down the road you may need, like, will I need an apartment? I want to have independence right now, but when 10 years from now, where would I go? I want to stay in this community. I don't want to leave my friends and uproot. Well, they've solved that because they're going to have apartments here. So I think looking at, you can have a detached home. Well, that's getting to be a bit much for me to manage. Maybe I could go to a mini home, or maybe I could go to a semi-detached, or gee, I'm ready for an apartment, but I don't want to leave this community because I have all my friends here and all the activities I'm involved with. So they look at that when you're as a senior, look at what there is to offer, and down the road what there is to offer. And that's what I like about the Crossing, is that there is a variety. You can have and still maintain here, stay in one spot where you can establish friends. It's always downsizing, and that's always a shocker to everybody. But I think mine went fairly well. I was prepared that I was moving into something smaller than a house. So you start the downsizing process, which is always difficult when you want to keep things. We have included in my mini home is a shed, a very large shed actually, with electricity. So that's sort of like a bonus. So it's a process, and I started downsizing and getting rid of this. I don't really need that. And then when you come here, you just keep working at it. And then a few months later, you're rearranging everything again because you've got, new places for things. They came in and did a check before I even moved in and said, Dianne, your door is getting replaced. Your counter's there's a mark on your counter. That's not good enough. We're going to get that replaced. There was another piece. There was something else. They said, okay, so they did a good quality inspection before I even moved in. And that was before I even walked in on the 31st of May. They had picked all these, there was only like 2 things or something, but nope, they've been very good to me. So very good to me. In fact, I don't like to ask them for things because I think, well, I don't want to bother you. And then they tell me, I get a lecture. You're not bothering us. That's what we're here for. Always with a smile, always pleasant. They've never had a harsh word or like, that's ridiculous word, or sometimes you'll get that, or we don't want to be bothered. We got your money. Forget about us. No, they're always pleasant, always smiling, Your concern is their concern. And that's how I feel. That's how they've made me feel. I don't think so. Betty or the crossing office, when I was doing getting my mini home, like I was able to design the inside of my mini home, and they answered all my questions. They were very supportive. In fact, when I was thinking about it and inquiring about it, Betty called me and said, Dianne, if you want a place, there's only 3 lots left that can be purchased. If you want one, so they gave me a heads up because I know for a fact there are people on waiting lists to get in here. Come on down to the crossing, take a drive through. If you'd like, there are some of us that would say, come and take a look. You're in a great spot, very warm, friendly, supportive community that is near the Annapolis Valley, that is near Halifax, and you have a little bit of country and a little bit, you can go either way. And it's relaxing and uplifting at times. So do your homework. See if this is a good fit for you, which it is for most people, but you never know. Do your homework, come in, chat with the crossing management, chat with some of the residents, go for a walk, and do your homework and get opinions from the people that are in here. And I've talked to people that have been here 10 and 12 years and they love it. So that says it all.
For more information about this community, you can visit their profile at comfortlife.ca.